Hi guys, welcome back to Super Data Science YouTube channel. Today we continue extend our visualization and techniques working with Ggpubr package. And on the table is line chart or line graph, whatever you like to call it. So what is the line chart? Line charts are used to display quantitative values over a continuous interval or time period. A line graph is most frequently used to show trends and analyze how the data has changed over time. Line graphs are drawn by first plotting data points on a Cartesian coordinate grid, then connecting a line between all of these points. Typically, the y-axis has a quantitative value, while x-axis is a timescale or a sequence of intervals. Negative values can be displayed below the x-axis. The direction of the lines on the graph works as a nice metaphor for the data. An upward slope indicates where values have increased, and a downward slope indicates where values have decreased. The line's journey across the graph can create patterns that reveal trends in a dataset. And this is exactly what we are going to do today. Today we will use line chart to find trends and patterns in console games sales data. First of all, let's open RStudio and load our data. We'll call it games sales and we'll use read CSV function. Of course, all the data and files will be provided through the link, which you will find in the description. So let's load our data and see what is inside. There we have name of the game, platform where game was released, year of the release, genre, publisher, and sales across all major regions. Let's start with some basic line graph, which will show how global console sales changed over time. But where we'll take these global sales, you may ask. We'll create new variable using mutate function from Ggpubr package. Create new variable. We'll take games sales and we will reassign this new data frame to existing ones. So we'll take game sales again, pipe it to mutate function. We will call our variable global sales and it will be equal NA sales plus EU sales plus GP sales and plus sales in other regions. Okay, let's see what we have. We have exactly what we need. We want to see how global sales changing over years, but in order to do so, we need to group our data by year. If we will plot it right now as it is, we will get this weird chart, which is not useful at all. Just let me show you how it will look. Chart without grouping. So we will use ggline function, game sales data frame. On the X it will be year and Y it will be global sales. And as you can see, this chart is looking weird indeed. What we need to do, we need to group data by year. So how we're gonna do this? We will use group by and summarize functions from Ggpubr package in order to perform grouping. So we will create new variable and call it global sales. Now we need to take our game sales data frame. We need to select variables which we're gonna use. In this case it is year and global sales. Then we need to use group by function and group our data by year, and then we will summarize our global sales. Global sales sum global sales. Okay, now we have our new variable, and let's plot our basic plot. We'll use again Gg line function. Now we will use global sales data. On the x-axis we will have year, and for y we will use global sales variable. Now we get this nice looking line graph from which we can see how game sales developed over years. As being said, line plot is basically data points connected with lines. We can control appearance of line chart by passing parameters to plot type arguments. So we will create basic plot with points. We'll just copy our chart from there, and we will use plot type, and we'll pass p arguments to show only points. We will create some basic plot without points. We need to use L, we need to pass L variable to plot type, and now we have only one line. Let's play around with exploring more arguments. First we will change line type. We can do it in two ways. So I prepared a slide for you which represents line types and what arguments we need to pass to change it. Like I said, we can do it in both ways. We can pass just a number, or we can pass a name. So let's try. We'll take our chart and we will just change line type to 2. As you can see, our line type is changed, and we can do it in the other way. Can use dashed, and it will be the same. What else we can do? We can change point size. We'll take our chart and we will just change a point size. As you can see, we can increase or decrease the size of our points. We can change points shape as well. So I will just take and copy our chart as usual, and I will use shape argument. So In the slide which I already prepared for you, I listed all possible shapes with numbers. So as you can see, the most relevant shapes for us starting from number 15 till the number 25. So these are field shapes, and we can color them with field parameter. So let's get back to our chart, and let's use, for example, number 17. And as we can see, the shape of our points changed. We can also change the color of the points. So in order to do so, points color, we will just take our chart again, copy it, and we will use point color argument, and for example, let's try red. Voila! And as you can see, color points changed as well. What else we can do? We can add title to our graph. Title to graph. In order to do so, we will use title argument. So we'll pass to it console games global sales. Voila, now we have nice title. We can also set or edit X-axis title or Y-axis title. So let's do it. For X-axis, we can already understand that the years are mentioned. So the best scenario in this case is just hide X-axis title at all. So we'll use xlab and use false. And as you can see, our graph now looks a little bit neater. And for Y label, we'll take our chart again. So there is already mentioned that these are global sales. Now we need just to specify the order of these numbers. So let's do it. We'll add xlab, and we will specify that these are millions of dollars. Okay, cool. Let's move forward and solve more complicated task. For example, we want to compare global sales for two consoles, Xbox 360 and PS3. So how we would do it? First of all, we need to prepare the data for our task. We will need to create new DataFrame, and we will call it X360 vs PS3. We'll mention there that we are preparing Xbox versus PS3 DataFrame. Okay, so what we're gonna do here? We will, of course, we are creating new data frame, so we will take our game cells, we will pipe it to select functions to select the variables which we will need. So we will need year, platform, and global sales. Then we will need filter these data frame and leave just Xbox 360 and PS3 consoles. So we'll need to use filter function from Ggpubr package, and what we're gonna do, we'll filter the platform. There is like a nice argument, it is called in. So we will specify that we want all rows which satisfy next parameters like x360 and ps3. Okay, we're good there. Now we need to use group by function to group our data by year and by platform. And at the end we need to summarize global sales. We just will leave the exact name as we used before, so this is again global sales, but only for our two consoles, for Xbox 360 and for PS3. Okay, we are good. Let's check our data, and this is exactly what we need. There we have year and year, platform, and amount of sales for each year and for each platform. So the other thing which we'll need to do is remove excess factors. Why we are doing so? Because when we are filtering our data frame, factors are not being removed from it, and if we will build a chart and we will use color, shapes, and lines as our factors, we will have a lot of them which we don't want to see. So in order to avoid this, we will just rewrite the factors to existing ones. And finally, let's build our two variables plot. So how we will do this? We will use ggline function. Then the data is 360 is +3. X-axis is of course year. Y-axis is global sales. Then we will assign to line type platform different line type for each platform. Then we also want separate shape for each platform. That's why we will use platform also there. And we also want a color our lines by platform. Let's use our special palette as being shown in a previous tutorial. We will use Ggpubr palette, so let's do it. Pal. We need two colors, so n equals 2, and the name of the name of color palette is set number 1. Okay, we are good here. Let's see what we have. So everything looks nice except X-axis. As you can see from the data for Xbox 360, we have some game sales in 2005 and PS3 sales starting in 2006. And in this way, since our X-axis ticks are set automatically, Ggpubr package trying to align these two lines together and aggregate the axis, but it's not looking nice, and we don't want this in our visualization. So how we can avoid this? We can use Ggpubr function. This is a function which controls graphical parameters. About it we will talk further down the series. For now, just follow me and you will see how we easily can solve this issue. First of all, we will assign our plot to variable p, just to make the things easier. And now we will use xticks, and we will set our axis to iterate by 2. So, and finally we get our desired plot. So this is all for today, guys. The only one thing I want to ask you, like, what type of tutorials you prefer. As you already mentioned, this was a kind of long tutorial because I typed the code along the way. So some of you like this approach, some of you don't, and we have two options here. Like when I presented the material throughout already prepared code, or when I'm typing the code along the way. Please share your opinion in the comments below, because this is really important. For today, that's all. Thank you, guys. Subscribe to Super Data Science YouTube channel, like and share this video, and see you next time.